The Nuzlocke has made its way to Animal Crossing. Jmoji is the king of this challenge and created this idea as well as the most challenging rules of any Animal Crossing challenge ever. This Nuzlocke works a bit differently than the Pokemon ones that you're used to. Instead of being unable to use our Pokemon after they die, we can't use our tools after they die. That's right, if your axe breaks, no more axes for the rest of the challenge. No flimsy axe, no pretty good axe, no gold axe, nothing. The other difficult rule, I can only sell an item one time. So if I sell an apple, I can't sell an apple ever again. I'll have to find some other way to make money that doesn't really involve these tiny tanukis. The goal for this challenge? Get to the KK Slider concert and watch the credits. To do that, I'm gonna have to get a 3-star island. And then I also have a secret extra goal to beat Jmoji's time, which is unfair because he specifically wasn't speedrunning in this challenge, but I am going to, and if I can beat his time, then in my head, I have successfully gotten the world record for this made-up challenge. Besides, I'm like an Animal Crossing pro. If I don't beat the time, what does that say about me? Why have I been playing New Horizons for the last 5 years? With those rules out of the way, let's get into the Animal Crossing Nuzlocke. This involves having to restart an island, so we are at the beginning. It's pretty simple. After showing up to your island, seeing your starter villagers and hoping that they aren't completely ugly, you find spots for their houses. Nook wants you to do some easy tasks around the island they're pretty safe. You're just picking up 10 sticks, grabbing fruit. Everything can be done quickly without too much risk, because you're not using any tools. Oh, I should also mention I have 3 lives. If I faint by a double wasp sting, or scorpions or tarantulas, I can't remember which ones are out at this time of year, then that's 1 life down. After 3 lives lost, I fail the challenge and I gotta start all over. So staying away from wasps is definitely on my list of strategies. My first big task I wanted to complete was getting Blather's butt on the island. Having all the buildings helps a lot towards achieving a 3-star island. And if you don't know, one of the categories that you need to earn points in is development. And an upgraded museum, well, that gives you a pretty healthy chunk of development points. But to do that, we need to catch some creatures. And since all we have is a fishing pole right now, it's time to start fishing. Most of the tools in this game have a very predictable durability meter, except the fishing rod. From my testing, the rod seems to lose durability based on the size of the fish you catch instead of just how many times the tool is used, which is completely contradictory to some of these articles online that tell you how this game works. This is just my assumption after a few hours of testing. I never figured out if things like missing a fish or nibbles count towards any kind of rod breakage, which means we're kind of just fishing and hoping for the best. No rod means no donating fish, no getting blathers, and our run is pretty much dead. So every fish we catch is a complete ball of stress. Is the rod gonna break? Is it going to survive? Who the heck knows?
Not my problem. No! What? What? That was the 9th one! I counted the fish! The website clearly says 10 fish caught! You can catch 10 fish! I can't trust Polygon. Julia, you lied to me!
The misinformation of New Horizons is what my channel was built on. So yeah, keep them coming. I had to test out all of these tools myself because the people writing these articles did the minimal trial and error to figure it out, which I get, they have jobs, but like, come on. But I got the goods, don't worry. But after a few fish and crafting a few extra poles just in case, better to be on the safe side, we did it. We got enough donations to give to Nook so he could convince Blathers to move to a deserted island, which seems really simple, just 5 fish, and then this owl moves into the middle of nowhere. So now it's time to time travel to the next day to start on the next task, making bells. Yep, you need bells, specifically for all of the villager plots. Again, we need development points, and these villager houses help a lot towards that. But first, we gotta craft all of our furniture for our 3 starting villagers, and invite our campsite villager. I didn't bother spending time and bells on upgrading our house since that doesn't really count towards the island rating. However, paying off the deserted island getaway package is one of the steps that you need to upgrade resident services into a full-blown building, which also invites Isabel and the island evaluation system, so you do need to do this. I also plan on waiting patiently for Mabel to show up to get her building as well. All of this is a lot of work, and my mind is going 100 different places because I'm trying to get this done as fast as possible. But the first thing I should concentrate on, Nook Mile points. We need to pay off that deserted island getaway package, and Nook Miles is what you need to do that. The problem, Nook Miles involve doing a lot of random activities like writing on the message board, updating my passport, talking to villagers. These are easy. But thanks to the rules of the Nuzlocke, some of these Nook Mile goals we can't do. I can only sell 1 weed, so I literally can't do that one. Can't do that one either. Can't do that one either. Oh, this is gonna suck. Taskmaster. Taskmaster can go die. Getting these points at the beginning was easier said than done. Many of the goals involved selling weeds, fruit, selling multiples of things that we can't do. All of these are off the table. It's gonna take a while to save up 5,000 miles, so I am going to do all of the long-term goals that I can, since they tend to give you a heftier chunk. Like putting furniture in our house. We only need a few pieces for a bunch of Nook miles, and we're already halfway there. So I decided, let's go get some resources, craft some furniture, boom, practically free Nook miles. We just gotta collect some wood. And this is where everything went wrong. Oh shoot, I haven't been counting. I haven't been counting my axe hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 15 more. Stop. No. I'm so stupid. Yeah, in the process of collecting that wood, I broke my axe. Without an axe, I can't complete the tutorial. I can't get Nook's Cranny. I can't craft furniture for the starting villager houses. I can't do anything, which means I can't update resident services, which means no Isabelle, and that means no ability to get any kind of island evaluation. This run is dead. Complete and utter failure just from one tool breaking. The worst possible outcome. I am devastated, and that last hour was completely wasted. All because I was not counting my axe hits. And now it's time to start all over again. Back to the Nooklings to pick our island. Arriving at our island. Getting angry at our starter villagers. Actually, they really weren't that bad. Placing their houses. Collecting items for Nook. All the tedious tasks that we have to do all over again. But this time, I have a new strategy. We need to stop an axe from breaking ever again. First of all, successfully counting my tool uses is, important. But also, instead of getting as close as comfortably possible to breaking my tool, I'm gonna stop using about 10 or so hits before the end. This way, if I miscount again, I at least have some leeway. And to be extra safe, I even just kind of added a few hits to my counter here and there, just to pretend that I'm closer to the end, so that I reset my tool earlier than I really should be. Now there's no possible way I'll break a tool, because even if the counter gets to the maximum breaking point, or if I miss a few, like last time, the tool itself won't break. I'd rather craft extra tools than waste time restarting this run all over again. Not gonna lie, at this point, I'm really wondering if I can complete this challenge. I'm so paranoid about breaking an essential tool again. So my goal is to not break an axe and to not break a shovel, because both of these would be completely run ruining. I slowly start to work my way back to where I'd failed while appreciating the small successes along the way. Everything was going fantastic. And then it came time for collecting all the resources for Nook's Cranny. This is so much wood. You barely have enough trees on your island to satisfy this when you start this challenge. And you sure as hell don't have enough iron. Getting wood is so freaking stressful. I need 90 pieces, which is at minimum 3 axes, but in reality, you're not getting lucky enough to immediately get 30 of each type of wood. You're getting 5 million hardwood, 50 softwood, and like 1 regular wood. Axe after axe after axe after axe after axe. And then on top of that, every time you hit a tree for the first time, there's a chance that wasps just fall out and attack. During the beginning of this game, you have to craft a ton of tools. Except for the shovel, most of the flimsy tools require sticks to craft. They're easy to come by, all you have to do is shake some trees, but anytime you shake a tree or hit it with an axe, that tree will probably have a wasp in it. A good strategy is to hold out a net, stand in front of the tree and shake it. That way if a wasp nest does fall, you can just hit A and you'll catch the wasps, easy peasy. There's no risk of wasps stinging you and no chance of fainting. So this is my strategy for collecting 90 pieces of wood, is to stand in front of the tree, shake it with a net, and then take my axe out and start hitting. We finally had enough wood, but we still needed to get iron. Since the iron drop rates are pretty low on our home island, we took a trip to a mystery island to get more. They tend to be higher there for some reason. Thankfully, Tom Nook is a little bit kind and gives you 1 free Nook Mile ticket, but every other ticket costs you 2,000 miles each, and instead of wasting these on just resources, I also wanted to use this opportunity to collect some villagers to get their houses going. And sure enough, we got plenty of iron. Except that one day that it was in the middle of Bunny Day and I hit a rock and eggs came out. God, I hate Bunny Day. We got Nook Miles. We got Blathers to come back. Oh, this run is starting to come together. But as always, I need more tools. So I start shaking more trees and catching wasps before they could sting me. It sucks I can't sell these. Not that I really need money right now. Oh no, wait! That means I have to run away from wasps. That's a problem. My whole strategy of wasp-free island gallivanting. Yeah, that doesn't work when you stop counting your net uses and your net breaks. I can't catch a break. I know this is all my fault. I should have been keeping track. I thought I had an almost foolproof strategy to stop this from happening, and now we're netless, which isn't the end of the world. I'm just gonna have to pay attention to where the nearest building is and carry some medicine on me. We can be stung once. Being stung twice without healing, those 3 lives are gonna go quickly and another restart's gonna have to happen. This is completely devastating, but it's still possible to complete the challenge. It's just gonna be annoying to use the trees. It's a whole other hurdle that we need to keep in mind. Get wood without wasps. It's not the worst thing in the world, just really inconvenient to run into a building every now and then, especially because we're on a time crunch here. This extra minute or 2, I may not have in the end. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get the necessary points for a 3-star island. I've never timed myself doing this. All I know is that it's not going to be easy and it's going to take a ton of time, especially without a net to help us. One of the requirements that we need is a lot of bells for the villager home plots. I plan to get all 10 neighbors to move in so we can have the maximum development points possible, but to do this, we need to give 40,000 bells to Tom Nook for empty plots. That's a lot of money for someone who can't really sell items. As we went along, I sold a few things, but during this process, I realized selling miscellaneous furniture items or fish here and there wasn't really viable. I needed a new way to make money and fast. And then I realized there are 2 really good money-making options available on the island that don't require selling anything. The money rock and the money tree. Oh, I utilized these immediately, and since there were no rules limiting to how much I could make this way, I just did this every day. While I'm collecting bells, I still have to collect enough Nook miles to pay off the getaway package. Since this worked so well last time, I made sure I was extra cautious with which goals to pursue. I wanted to limit my risk as much as possible. Nothing that required excessive tool usage. Eventually, I got enough to pay off the head tanuki, as well as a little extra for the tool ring, just to make my life easier. I don't know how we played this game without this quick select menu. Hitting the D-pad over and over to get to the right tool is just absolute torture now. Okay, we have the villager houses crafted, all 10 neighbors have moved in, Blather's museum is upgraded, and the Able sisters have found their home. Now all that's left to do is get a 3-star island, which is probably the second hardest part of this whole challenge next to getting enough resources for Nook's Cranny. Criteria that we're still missing to get a 3-star island: flowers, crafted furniture, and purchased furniture. Which means we need more bells. Now that Blathers was on the island, we are getting fossils, so I started selling the fossils that I found around the island since there was really no point to donating to the museum anymore. And then we just kept using the money trees and money rocks every day. At one point, Nook gives you 50 fences completely for free. This is next level because they count as crafted furniture, so I started placing them everywhere. The other strategy I used was placing down my old used up tools. Since we crafted these, they also count as crafted furniture. But we still needed a ton of flowers and a ton of purchasable furniture. When planting flowers, it's best to get a variety of colors and types. So I went and talked to the little tanukis, got a bunch of different colors, got a different bunch of types. Didn't have to worry about leaf because thankfully they stock enough, and you don't even need hybrids, you just need normal flowers. So it's just a matter of saving up enough bells to plant these flowers. Then it was time to purchase furniture. And again, you need variety. The game will be able to tell if you have too many of identical items too close together. So we did have to do some time traveling to get a bunch of different things, but we started placing these everywhere. And as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that our money is dwindling fast. Time is ticking, bells are disappearing. I need to hurry up and make more bells. Time travel faster, do everything faster. I'm trying to find the cheapest items in these unlimited spots. Nook's Cranny has 2 spots of furniture that will sell out and 2 spots of furniture that you can just keep buying over and over again. A lot of times this unlimited furniture is pretty cheap, but sometimes, they're pretty expensive. I'm trying to find the cheapest items and spread them all throughout the island, but also time traveling to the next day, trying to find more cheap things so I can have a variety of items. I can't just buy a million typewriters and put them everywhere. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Turns out decorating is more than just plopping the same item over and over again. These villagers, while they may be one-dimensional in their dialogue, are not one-dimensional in their eyeballs. They like things looking pretty. I'm placing things. I'm buying things. I'm planting flowers. I'm going all over the place. I'm losing my mind. I'm talking to Isabel, 1 star. Place more things. Talk to Isabel. 2 stars. We're getting close. And then out of nowhere, Isabel grants us a 3-star island. We did it. And really fast too. With only 1 tool broken, 1 reset, and no lives lost. We did it pretty fast. There's no record for this category of hitting a 3-star island while also taking care of a baby, but I think we did pretty good here. This Nuzlocke was incredibly fun. It was really cool to do a unique challenge with a game that we've been relentlessly playing for 5 years. It adds a new spark. It's really cool to start over and get a fresh perspective on the game. And it makes me more excited to get back into the world of Animal Crossing again. Even if you don't time yourself, I challenge you to do this Nuzlocke. Do something different when restarting an island, instead of just playing New Horizons. It's something to pass the time while we all wait for Animal Crossing New Space on the Nintendo Switch 2 family of systems. Let me know if you do this challenge. Go send Jmoji some love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!